Welcome to Learn from Dad. I'm James, and this is my new $300 BMW 325xi that I bought out of a random garage that has been sitting for the last 4 years. And Wyatt and I are going to try to get it started and running so that we can get it home and learn how to drive a 5-speed manual transmission with the kids. So I found this car when I was coming over to look at a tree job, and there was a garage in the back that had a variety of different stuff in it. This is just one of several things that I bought that we're going to do some videos on. I'll give a quick sneak peek over my shoulder of something else that we're going to do a video on. It's another car, yes, and possibly a motorcycle, but today we're going to focus on this 325xi. My kids are to the age where they need to drive, and I want them to know how to drive a manual transmission. This actually had a little bit of a transmission problem with downshifting, which is why it was parked, and we're going to try to get it up and running today, get it home, we'll see what's going on with the transmission. So Wyatt, what do you think of our new car?
I think it's awesome.
Pretty awesome? Mm-hmm. Have you looked inside of it yet?
No.
All right, let's take a quick walk around it. So tires appear to be flat. Overall, pretty good condition. It's got some miscellaneous rust on it, cracked tail light, another flat tire, some rust down here on the fender, but hey, it's got a moonroof. Another flat tire. Hopefully we can get those all charged up. Let's see what's underneath. Woo! Looks like there's some mice that have been enjoying themselves in here. That'll be interesting. Did you see the engine yet, Wyatt? Come take a look, buddy. Think we can get that started?
Yeah.
I think so. There's another sneak peek of what we're going to work on later back behind Wyatt. So why don't we go ahead and pop the door open and take a look on the inside, buddy. Let's see what's in there. Oh, interior's not too bad. Leather. How about the front? Pop that open, Wyatt. Oh yeah. It smells a little bit like mice, but not anything that you can't fix, right? Mm-hmm. 5-speed. I did a little research. I think it's actually a ZF made transmission. I was able to sit in it and at least shift through the pattern, so it appears to be functional. When I came to look at the trees and then randomly found this car, it did have a battery in it, but I noticed the battery was cracked. So I did turn the ignition on, and I had a battery charger hooked up to it. I did see all the lights on the dash come on. It does have around 140-ish thousand miles. I did take the battery. We went and got a different one just to throw in it and see what it'll do. I don't know if this thing will start or not. I hope so, but first we got to go through. We're going to check, see how much fuel's in it. I might extract the fuel out of it. Again, it's been sitting for 4 years. I did bring some clean fuel, at least just to have some fresh fuel in the tank. First, let's get a battery put in it just so we can see what exactly is going on electrically, if anything, and we'll start evaluating the rest of the systems. So the batteries on these are actually in the trunk. So Wyatt, go ahead and pop the trunk open with the key. You put that in there and go counterclockwise actually, bud. There you go. There's where the battery actually goes, down here in the bottom. So this battery is not exactly the proper one. It's for the other vehicle that's in here that we're going to be working with, but we're going to see if we can make it work. First thing I'm going to do is pop this little, whatever you call it, thing out of the way. All right, Wyatt, so come over here and let's take a look, and we got to learn, right, buddy? So anytime you're putting a battery and you see how these one cables are red and the other one over here is black,
Yeah.
that always means red is typically going to be what we call the positive or a plus. The black is the negative or a minus. So you see how on our battery it's got a plus for positive and a minus for negative. So we're going to put the red cable on the plus and the black one over here on the negative. Now when we hook up the battery, it's normally we want to put the red one on first. Get our little battery bolts tightened up. And let's put the negative on and see what happens. Oop, we got lights, dude. That's a good sign. Let's grab us a ratchet or a wrench so we can get that tightened down. I'm guessing maybe a 10 millimeter. Yep. 10 millimeter, Wyatt, is a metric size, right? Anytime we hear millimeters with our wrenches or ratchets, it's going to be metric. Now, we always got to be careful that that red wire with the plus, the positive, that we don't touch it on anything that is part of some other metal, especially that other post that has that minus on it. because that will make it spark really aggressively. So that looks like a good start, huh?
Yeah.
So for any of you that might deal with BMWs, I do have an actual question for you. I was going to get a battery at the auto parts store, and the auto parts guy had made comments about, well, you need to take the car to a dealer and let them hook up their service tool and do some kind of a reset. So I don't know if that's really necessary or what it does, or I'd be curious because I have no idea. So let me know if you would in the comments. All right, Wyatt, let's see what we got here, dude. So first off, we got to make sure there's oil in the engine. I didn't even look underneath. I probably should. No, I don't see any fluid underneath of it. I just see a lot of mouse stuff. So, that's not good. Looks like some of these wires have been chewed a little bit on the insulation. You see that right there, buddy?
Yeah.
So that might negatively impact it. We won't know until we try to start it, but before we do that, we got to make sure there's oil in it. We don't want to turn the engine over without checking the oil light. Let's see what it's got. So we wipe it off, pull it back out. Well, it's got oil in it, so that's a good start. And I think before we do too much, we might try to crank it, just see what it does, and then I really think we should get all this crap maybe vacuumed out of here. So this should be the air box. Wonder how much junk is in here, huh? That's the air filter for the engine right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes through this front part through that filter, so there's no mice in there, so that's good. I was making sure. I was worried they might have gone in there and eaten that up. Okay, so it's got engine oil. It's got an air filter that's not chewed up. This is what happens when you buy a $300 car. You just don't know, right? You're gonna have some fun with it. I really want to see if it just turns over. Should we do that? Mm-hmm. I don't want to start it yet, because if it's got a bunch of really crappy gas in it, we don't want to suck that into the engine. Okay, buddy. Should we see what works and what doesn't?
Yep.
What do we got in here? Oh, there's a fuse. What's this? Looks like car wash tokens, or maybe looks like maybe some arcade tokens. We go to the arcade. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Let's see what happens when the key turns on. Well, the dash lights all come on. That's a good start. So this is the manual transmission, remember? Mm-hmm. 140,195 miles. Turn signals work. Headlights, or at least some of the headlights work. I don't know what that is. What do you think BC is?
No clue.
Yeah, I don't either. What's this? Oh, windshield wipers. Let's see if the windows work. Oh my God. My window works. How about your window? Your window works. I've heard that a lot of times these window things stop working. Back one works. Oh, hazards. At least I see the front lights working. Well, that's weird. I didn't click those. Radio. Let's see what that does.
It works.
Jamming. It's even got a CD player in it. It's old school. Well, the fan works. Wonder if the heat works. Oh, so far so good. I'm actually... Ooh, seat warmers. There you go. Now you got a warm rear end. Thing's even got a cigarette lighter. I hope Riley doesn't start smoking. That'd be bad. What else works? Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a moonroof in this thing. I wonder if that works. Oh, buddy. Well, at least it pops up. It doesn't go back, but it opens. Well, that's a start, huh? Mm-hmm. How about our lights? Got a couple lights that work. Even your face light works. Now you can check your makeup. Mine's got it. Holy cow, I can't believe how much stuff actually works in this car. It does have about 3/8 of a tank of fuel, so I think before we try to actually start it, we should probably strain some fuel out. Oh heck, it even has power mirrors. Look at this. Check this out. And they even work. How about yours? See the mirrors moving? Right there. Feeling the brakes, I can actually pump up in the clutch. That's a good thing. All right, well, let's quit screwing around and see if it like cranks over a little bit, huh? Mm-hmm. Let's give it a try. Oh. Holy crap, it started. I don't really want to run that fuel, but I can't believe that it just started. Hasn't run in 4 years. That is awesome. I just want to do some burnouts with it.
Yes.
I bet we could take it like on the gravel road, do some good burnouts, because this thing's got all-wheel drive, so all the tires will kind of spin together. So kind of a cool car. Good opportunity here to use my new Milwaukee pack-out vacuum. I have not had a chance to use this yet. Been wanting a portable vacuum for a long time and finally picked this one up. I don't know, Black Friday type deal. What the heck we got back here? Holy crap, there's a lot of crap. God, I hate the smell of mice. It is so disgusting. It's gross. Wyatt had to go warm up in the truck. He said his toes were cold. Told him to wear 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of pants, but you know what it's like listening to a dad. That's not fun. I don't actually see, aside from one sensor that's up on the engine, I don't see that they've actually chewed too much of the electronics, which is good. I love electronics and working on it, but fixing random mouse stuff is not cool. Probably should have worn gloves. Oh well. Skin's like the #1 protector, I think, isn't it? Well, I haven't found any dead things yet. That is a positive. The only actual damage I've seen thus far is I think this one connection here, there's a little bit of damage. I've done a little bit of research. I know that on the E46, these oil, I think this is the oil filter or oil filter housing, that they have a tendency to leak. Looks like that's normal. I don't know what this is. That must be the fuel injection module, I guess. Yeah, it says Bosch on it, so fuel injection. This is the brake master cylinder reservoir. I do believe, from what I read, the clutch uses that same brake fluid, so we'll have to check that. I was just thinking, for all you Chevy guys out there, 5.3 liter, make you feel comfortable? I was just looking in the back seat. I think even Archie's gonna like riding in here. An old dog biscuit. What's funny is that the mice didn't eat that. I bet Archie will. Mr. Wyatt was in the truck warming up, so I'm gonna have him help me actually get the tires inflated. So Wyatt, let's bring the inflator over here. I know you haven't used this one before, but we're gonna go hook it up to the tires and let's see if they'll hold some air. You remember how we check these things to see how much tire pressure they need when we did our tire pressure video? So we're good. Yeah, the pencil gauge, but that thing is pretty cool. It'll do it automatically, but we need to know how much they're gonna take. Remember how we have to take a look at the tire? Holy cow, those are in really good condition. So we have to look at the tire and see if we can find the pressure. So squat down here, buddy. We're looking for the pressure. We can also look on the door of the car, but max pressure, 44 PSI. Let's use our inflator here. I just got this and I haven't even used it yet. This is pretty rad. So push the little power button. This is the Milwaukee inflator. And let's go ahead and push the plus button. Keep pushing it. Let's go up to 35. Go ahead and take your cap off. Remember how you take the air cap off? Use your other hand. It's just a little spider web, it's no big deal. Okay, now this one's a little different. Just like you threaded that cap off, you're gonna thread that hose on. Make sure it's nice and straight. Just spin this part here on the tip. Feel how it's got that rough spot, or that rough stuff you can grab? You know what that's called? Wonder if anybody else knows what that's called. It's knurling. Isn't that a fun word to say?
Yes.
Knurl. Now, hit this button. Let's see if it'll take some air. Oh yeah, buddy, it's going up. See that? What do you think? See how it automatically checks it? So we told it we wanted 35 PSI, pounds per square inch. And it's going to run until it sees 35 PSI of pressure in that tire. You gonna dance while you're waiting? Hit your hand, didn't you? Oh. See that? Oh, it stops and checks it, and then it turns back on again. Cool, dude. All right, so spin that back off. So hold the black hose. Spin just that knurled spot. Nope, other way. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. There you go. Keep all the way. Take it all the way off real quick. Now put your cap back on. Good job, dude. I don't hear it leaking at all. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And guess what? You got 3 more to go.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, buddy. You want to go to the front and do that one? I can't believe that one held there. That's awesome. Now hit the button. Okay, now, what was it? You dance?
What?
Dance? Is that your end zone dance? All right, I'm going to go take a coffee break. You just finish working on it, all right? You got all 4 tires done, buddy?
Yep.
Cool. All right, man. Should we get the gas in it? Well, actually, let's get 5 gallons of gas out. I think we can get 5 gallons out. And then let's put our fresh 5 gallons in. So you want to grab that air compressor tank, that red jug, and that black hose. We'll show you how to create a siphon with an air gun. Go ahead and take the gas cap out of there, Wyatt. Is it stuck? Mm-hmm. Oh, you already had it loose. It's just a quarter turn. What we're going to do is we are going to take this hose and we're going to stick it down in that tank and we're going to use it to siphon the gas out. I did bring our air tank because I didn't think the little air compressor might have enough air pressure to make this little siphon work. And I know you've never seen this before, but it's a pretty cool trick. Make sure that doesn't go in the dirt, please. I'm going to stick this down in the tank, I hope, and not get it stuck. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I don't know how these fuel tank necks are routed. There, I hit the bottom. What we're going to do, take this knife, and we're just going to cut a little slot right here for our air gun to go in. And make sure we don't stab ourselves and end up in the hospital. It's going to allow us to shove our air gun in there. And when we blow air through that, we're going to create a siphon, and that will hopefully suck up fuel. And I don't quite know if I'm all the way actually down in the tank. So you see how you take and just push this in? I'm not sure if we're all the way down in there, dude. Kind of are. There's some fuel on it. Well, that might not work. I'm not sure what we're running into in the fuel tank. Should we do plan B? You know what plan B is? You're just going to push it all the way home. If you're going to push it, where's your muscles? Yeah, maybe we'll call a tow truck instead. Since there's only like a quarter tank of fuel in there, we're going to gamble and we're going to dump our 5 gallons of fresh gas in there and just hope it'll be okay. If it does start and run, we can always put some more in it and it'll kind of dilute that bad gas that's in it.
Worst case scenario, the 2 gases mixed together and they're not supposed to. Kaboom.
They do what?
Kaboom.
Well, as long as it's in the engine and kapooms, then it'll spin the pistons and the crank and the camshaft and life will be good. You know what I just said? Guess we need to take an engine apart, huh? Mm-hmm. Wyatt, you see this little flap right here inside the fuel tank? So what that does is when you put the regular gas nozzle in at the gas station, that nozzle pushes that open, and it's there for a couple different reasons, but our gas tank right there will not fit in this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep this screwdriver like that, and we're just going to hold that nozzle open, and then we're going to pour our gas in. It sure seemed like it wanted to start right up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible. Can't believe all the tires are still holding there.
Yeah.
5 gallons of fresh fuel, buddy. You make a pretty good cameraman, don't you?
Yeah.
You think it's going to start? You want to make a bet?
Sure.
What do you want to bet? I already bought you a slushie. What else do you want?
A Chick-fil-A meal.
A Chick-fil-A meal. Okay. If it starts on the first try, you get Chick-fil-A.
Please, please, please.
If it starts on the second try, what do I get? You take the trash out.
Fine.
Deal. All right, here we go.
Does that count?
Well, it's running.
I
Dude, I can't believe it's running.
win!
Unbelievable.
Chick-fil-A!
The brakes work. Well, I guess the pedal works. The clutch kind of works. It's got kind of a flat spot in it. Doesn't sound the greatest, but holy crap, it's running. Somebody thinks he's cool because he gets Chick-fil-A. Sounds like it's got some tickies to it, but I guess if I sat for 4 years and moved for the first time, I'd probably have some ticks too. Is it smoking?
It It was, but not
Just when we first started? Oh, that's just...
When you first started it, there was a lot, but now there's...
There's a... What color was it? Like blue? White?
It was just white.
White? Are you more excited about the car running or Chick-fil-A?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. I want to check in that reservoir, the brake reservoir, and see how much brake fluid's in there, because that's what the master cylinder for the clutch works on, too. It sure doesn't look like there's much of anything in there. I wonder if it's actually super low. That clutch pedal, yeah. See that, buddy? I really don't think there's anything in there, which means there's a bunch of air in the lines. But,
Is that a bad thing?
well, it's not the greatest thing, but I did buy some brake fluid. I think this takes what's called DOT4 or DOT4. Kid walks up and all he says is, guess who's getting Chick-fil-A for supper? I'll take the lid off and then there will be a seal on it. So now we have to pour it in there and not spill. You think you can do that? Or do you want me to try?
I think I can do it.
Pour real slow. Can't believe you're doing that with one hand. Stop, 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 stop. Oops, a little overfilled. That's okay. We'll be all right. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave that cap off and I'm gonna push the pedal several times and I want you to watch and see if any air bubbles come up out of that, okay? There probably will. Air in those lines. Normally you would bleed them. Bleeding is kind of like, you know, how your body kicks blood out. When you bleed something like the brakes or the clutch, you're trying to get the air out of the line. So we would go down to the brakes and crack what's called a bleed screw loose, and that fluid would go down.
What exactly am I looking for?
Just watch for bubbles coming out of that as we slowly push the brakes. Is there any bubbles coming in?
No, but it's going up and down.
So the bigger question is, where did the fluid go? Because the only reason that wouldn't have fluid in is if there's a leak somewhere. So that was the clutch. There's the brakes. You still see it going up and down? Is it lowering at all? Because you did have it all the way up to the very top. Is it dropping? We're going to look underneath the car in a minute and see if we're squirting brake fluid out somewhere. Then we would know we have a specific leak somewhere. Oh yeah, okay. It just dropped just a tiny bit. Could you tell where that sound was coming from, dude?
Kind of like on that side.
On that side? Like over here?
Yeah, well, yeah, somewhere on that half.
This is way over full, but we're just gonna leave it for now. We're gonna try to get this sucker out of the garage. All right, dude, I'm gonna have you start it this time because I wanna listen to what's going on over here. It doesn't have an oil pressure gauge in it, but it does have an indicator. And one time I thought it showed indicator low, but there's a couple different colors. There's an orange and a red. I just wanna make sure oil pump's actually pumping oil. We're not gonna seize up our engine. That very left pedal. Push with your left foot. Keep your foot all the way down. There you go. I think it's just the belts, buddy. Go ahead and push on the gas pedal just a little bit. Whoa. A lot of knock in there. Free yourself up. Can't believe electric seat works. Figured the mice would have chewed that all up by now. This baby might just become my daily. A couple dummy lights on up there. That oil pressure light had come back on once. ABS. Get park brakes on. Park brakes off. Let's see if it will back up. Oh yeah, feel the clutch? Oh yeah. Reverse on this sucker is quite aggressive to get over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Said he was having trouble downshifting driving home one time. That's part of the reason he parked it. We shall see. Let's get this thing out of the garage. Take a look. It's always nice to give it a look in the sunlight. Yeah, it's just that little bit there, a little rust. Must be some mice in there. Should we take it for a buzz down the road?
Yes.
Looks like it'll drive. What'd you just say?
Does it need a license plate to drive?
Eventually. It's okay. Breaking the law. No, it'll be fine. We're just giving her a little test run down the block, okay? Hop in. Don't get my floors dirty. I wonder if the windshield washer works. Oh, look at that! Oh my god. This just keeps getting better. Should we give it a rip?
Yes.
Okay. I'll try not to kill it, alright?
Whoa.
Oh, killed it. Feels a little funny. So we should probably check and make sure that the lights work since we're going to drive down the street. We're only going a couple blocks, but we're going to turn the headlights on and we'll turn the hazards on. I just want to see if the back and front flashes a little bit. So hold on a second, dude. Every single light even works. Look down by your leg right here. Look at this. You see that flashing? Yeah, everything's working. Man, this is going good so far. Hopefully we don't kill it again because that's embarrassing.
You know how to drive one of these, right?
Oh, heck yeah. You hear that grinding? That's the brakes, because the brakes haven't been running a long time, so they got some rust on them. So we're just going back and forth a little bit. Make sure that they stop fine. Feel that? They stop good?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, should we send it?
Yep. You don't get pulled over, because that would be embarrassing.
I'm not worried about that. Here we go.
Alright.
Second gear. There, it downshifted okay. Yeah, that clutch feels kind of funny. There's like a dead spot halfway down through it. Kind of hear the tires, how it kind of womp womp womp. Those are a bunch of, yeah, womp womp. Kind of some flat spots, I think, just on the tires from sitting. Oh, we forgot to turn the radio on. Wonder if there's any CDs in here. How do you get the CDs out? No disc. Tell you what, if we had a driver to get my truck home, we could definitely drive this thing home, no problem.
Yep.
This thing runs good. It's getting warm. The fan works. Heat works. Yeah, something is really goofy with the clutch here, especially since that reservoir was empty. We definitely need to bleed the clutch line and bleed the brakes, although the brakes don't feel spongy at all. I wonder if the problem might have been if the clutch is leaking from the master cylinder down to the slave where the clutch is at. That might be the problem of what he was having downshifting. Wonder if we can do a burnout. Oh, there it's driving better. So I'll have to explain to you how a clutch works, and that's part of getting one of these cars, but I think the clutch hadn't been used for a while, so maybe the clutch disc itself was kind of sticky when I was having a little trouble getting to where it would shift quite right. But it definitely seems to be making a lot more improvement here. You want to drive it home?
Maybe. I mean, if I knew how manual transmission works.
A transmission?
Yeah.
Manual transmission?
Yep.
Do you know why they call it a transmission?
Because it's manual.
Well, what if it was an automatic transmission? What's a transmission? All right, let's learn from Dad. So simply put, what a transmission does is it's transmitting power from the engine to wherever your wheels are that are going to drive. And you know how your bicycle's got a bunch of different gears that you can shift?
Yep.
And when you shift those gears, your feet stay cranking the same speed, but your rear tire makes you go faster or slower. That's what a transmission does. So it transmits the power from the engine through a different set of gears. In this case, we have 5 gears. This is called a 5-speed transmission. And that means that even though the engine only goes a certain speed, the car will go faster. That's what a transmission does. I'm gonna drive this thing to work. This is gonna be awesome.
You know it's even better?
Not give it to Riley?
Nope. We're going to Chick-fil-A.
I forgot. We made a little bet, didn't we?
Yep.
You know what we really need to do? We really need to give this thing a bath. I'm a little worried about spraying anything until we make sure that we know exactly what's up with any of these connections. I don't know what these actually are here. Wyatt and I are gonna take this thing on a, 25 mile journey home and see if we make it. we got a ride, so just in case things don't go right, we can make sure we get picked up, leave it on the side of the road. But I have pretty good faith that it's actually going to make it. And I think on the way, what we're going to do, maybe we should stop and possibly put a little more fuel in it so it's fresh fuel. And if we can find ourselves a car wash, we're going to rinse this thing off. I really want to see how nice it is before we take it home and show it to Riley. I think she's going to be totally stoked. So, giddy up? Okay. My butt's getting warm. Is yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seat warmers work.
Yep.
Man, everything, like, I think the only thing we found that doesn't work yet is the moonroof. And maybe it's the way it's supposed to work. I got it to tip up. I suspect it's supposed to slide all the way open, but it hasn't done that yet. Now, the other car that we're going to pick up, which I haven't told anybody what it is yet, but the other car we're going to pick up, I hope it starts as easy as this one, but that one's been sitting for 10 years.
Yeah.
So probably have a little more to do on that one, but it'll be fun. Don't let the secrets out, Wyatt. Feel that?
Yeah.
Even the cruise control works. Aside from it shaking a whole bunch, which could be a couple things, it could be that the tires just have such big flat spots in them. It could be that the wheels are severely out of balance. They put these little weights on them so that when they spin, they're in balance. Otherwise, they vibrate real bad. It could be something like that. We're halfway home, and we're going to stop and wash it too and put some more fuel in it. I think Riley would like to see it all washed up. We don't want to bring our sister home a dirty car. Let's put some fuel in the old jalopy, huh?
Yay.
You can pump that while I'm just sitting here.
What?
Pretty good, $300, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we've had $300 worth of fun today.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't drive. I'm going to turn this thing into my daily work car. You know what that's called? People call it their daily. It's my daily driver. It's my daily. Should probably look underneath of it, make sure we're not leaking anything, right? So far, so good. Anytime we wash an engine like that, I gotta be careful because there's a bunch of electronic stuff in there, electrical, and getting it wet can make weird things happen, especially when mice have been in there. So now, hopefully it starts.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers, dude.
Yep.
We made it!
Yay.
I tell you what, that was a good $300. We made our way back into town because I owed Wyatt Chick-fil-A. We got that taken care of. Now, when I was driving home, I couldn't help but think about the last $300 car that I bought, which was probably 25 years ago from a trailer park when I was in college. It was a 1971 Buick LeSabre. It was baby blue, 4-door. It was an absolute sweet, sweet car. It was one of my favorite of all time. So here we are 25 years later, still buying $300 cars. Good morning, we're back out with the E46 this morning. Last night I was working on peeled the wheels off, checking the brakes, and I didn't realize the camera died while I was in the middle of it. So missed part of that footage, but I checked the brake pads. The fronts are in great shape, the rears are pretty light, the calipers all looked in good condition. I do need to bleed the brakes again, as I mentioned last night, somewhere in the dying video, because that reservoir was empty when we picked this car up. Unfortunately, where I picked the car up is where I forgot my brake fluid. So we're going to do that in another video. So this morning, I'm doing some last quick cleanup on this car so I can start driving it as of tomorrow. And in particular, I hate the smell of mouse urine. And you can see I got a whole bunch of stuff sprayed all over. And I wanted to show what I have been using for years. So I take just a regular spray bottle and fill it up with this solution that I actually use for cat urine. It's a hilarious name made by Mr. Max called Anti-Icky Poo. It's a bacteria enzyme solution. I've used this stuff with the house I bought that had some cat smell in it, and it is phenomenal. I've really had good luck. I'll drop a link. I think I got it on Amazon, so I'll drop an affiliate link. But spray bottle, apply it liberally, you just let it set. breaks down the enzymes to break down the smell. I'll take this thing outside and rinse it off. I'd also used my blowgun to get everything out that I possibly could and vacuumed for probably an hour, especially down in some of these cubbies up here. I don't know if there's weep holes or not, but got those nice and clean. Got the pans all peeled off from underneath, so I was able to make sure everything did fall down and got it clean. I'm going to clean the pans as well. I will take it outside, give it actually one more wash just to make it look nice. Today, the kids are going to get inside and start doing some cleanup. I've never been a leather cleaner. I was trying to watch some videos last night, so we're going to give it our best shot to get that cleaned up. If anybody has any suggestions on what you like to use for leather seats to kind of get that grime out, I'd sure listen to it. If any of you guys are E46 fans and have recommendations on things I should check, by all means let me know. I've got the service manual, I've watched some videos, but I really don't know these cars that well, so I'll take any comments you might have. Nothing beats an actual hand wash of a car. And let's be honest, there's something satisfying about it. Or maybe I'm just a crazy person. I never had planned on buying or owning a BMW, but these E46 and BMW cars in the early 2000s, they really did have some serious style here. We'll take the opportunity to rinse off the engine again. All that anti-icky poo stuff that I had sprayed in here, just try to get the majority of that rinsed off. That stuff has a pretty awesome smell actually too. It's kind of almost like a winter greeny type smell. So I guess I don't mind it. Significantly better than cat pee or mouse pee. And try not to be too aggressive. There's a lot of electrical connectors, right? And just with the work I do, watch lots of people take and spray real aggressively on electrical connectors, and they're meant to be weather sealed, but they're not high pressure water sealed. And rinse the radiator out best we can. Just get some good flow through there. A lot of people with radiators think you need high pressure. You don't. You really need flow more than anything. It helps to blast any material out of there, dust, bugs. Best to do it from the inside out, but the fan is in the way on the inside. I'm just trying to give her a little bit of cleaning. So there you have it, a $300 5-year abandoned garage find BMW 325xi, washed up, clean, looks nice, would be a great daily driver. There are other things we need to do to it that I'll make other future videos on, but for this one, I think we'll call it a wrap. So thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. This has been fun. I'm James with Learn from Dad. Stop back on the next video. Stay curious, friends.